Alright everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing Yusen port in Long Beach. It's going to be a very straightforward transaction today. We're coming in bare chassis, and it's our chassis, so own chassis, and we're picking up a load. So our terminology goes, on chassis in, load out. If you're not familiar with my videos, they are here for three particular reasons. Reason number one, in case I haven't been to these ports in a while, it's a reminder to myself of how it operates here. Reason number two, if you are a new driver to doing ports in general, I give a few tips and stuff like that to which seasoned drivers would know. If you are a seasoned driver, I giving information mostly in particular to this port, in case you've never been to this port. So there will be a lot of information that seasoned drivers will not need to know, except the fact that it's a different port, and a lot of information that new drivers to doing ports in general would need to know. Alright, so coming up first here, we've got this booth on the left. You're going to show them your TWIC card in order to gain access. Oh, sorry. You gave me a thumbs up. I thought we were good. So he gave me a thumbs up when I showed my TWIC card, and then when I started to go, he asked for my license, so I had to pause there for a second. It happens. But mostly you're going to show them your TWIC card. Sometimes they ask for your license, so have them both ready just in case. Next up, you're going to go through a little check gate. At this check gate, you're going to push the little button on that pedestal on the left. There's a little red button there. Then the arm will lift up and let you through. Now notice as you're going in, you're going to have a bunch of lanes available with signage that pretty much changes up on a fairly regular basis. So one thing it's showing me is a bare chassis is good on 14, 13, and 12, so I'm actually, let me see if 12 is a short lane. 12 is a fairly short lane. I'm going to take 12. Sometimes choosing a lane means you choose a fast lane. Sometimes choosing a lane means you choose a lane where you kind of get stuck for a while. So I'm going to choose this 12. If you are bringing a load in, or if you're bringing an empty in, you're going to go to the appropriate line. Now right here between our K rails, you're saying it's stop and unlock pin, so this will be our pin unlocking area if you had such. Today we are bare chassis, so of course we're not needing to do that. Just like this truck in front of us is doing, you're going to stop at the pedestal here on the left, and be prepared with all your information. Sometimes they ask the same information every time, but sometimes for whatever reason they ask you different stuff than what you would be used to them asking. So be prepared with your driver's license, your truck license. Be prepared with your appointment number, and if you're picking up a load, be prepared with your container number. And that'll help expedite things so that you're not searching for anything by the time you get up to the pedestal. When we get up here to the pedestal, we'll turn off our engine and wait to be assisted. Alright, he's heading out. I'm going to let him clear the scale before I hop on it. That's good enough. So I'm here at the pedestal. So it looks like this. Screen will say, please wait for the next available clerk. I'm going to have my paperwork and information ready for any questions that they will be about to ask me here. Also, on the bottom of this first pedestal, it has this where you can scan for the terminal map, so that'll give you an updated map. Very, very useful.
Hello, driver.
Hello.
License plate? Scat code? Appointment number? What are the last four of the container you're picking up?
7419.
Home chassis 2.
That is correct.
Okay, check your ticket, please.
Container looks correct, and that is me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so once you have your ticket, I'm gonna double check your ticket, make sure all your information is correct. Since we're over here in this lane, we're gonna go through our little bridge area. So this is the ticket we're working with today. Now, like I was saying about the trouble window, there's several of these little stop points here where you can park, and your trouble window would have been over on the left. There's a map on that wall also. So if you want to take a quick picture of the map instead of downloading, you can do that there at the trouble window. Now, we are going to position 3C. Excuse me, we're going to row 3C on position 98. Yusen is very, very directional, but very easy to follow through with. So I'm going to go with it the most simplest way, which is I'm going to flow down here, which is a bi-directional street. Then I'm going to turn on C and go down to 3. I'm going to do it that way instead of trying to go around. Hopefully C is not super congested. If it is, we'll reroute and go another way. We have a lot of trucks over here on my right hand side, so I'm going to take my time going through here. It looks like these guys are probably terminating. They're empty. And of course, as usual, all terminal gear and equipment have the right of way. So even if you got to the stop sign first or anything like that, and they get there just a little bit after you, they have the right of way regardless. The signs for every row is up high. So you can see up here, like for example, right now we see 2D on our left hand side and we see 1C on our right hand side. So here we are. We're going to make our turn onto this row here of 2C to get down to our 3C lane. Perfect. It does not look congested as we're turning into it. You can see on the ground the markings. So right now we're increasing in numbers. So if you were going on this 2C, you would see the numbers there on the right hand side on the ground. Most terminals have a speed limit of about 10 or 15 miles per hour. On the back road of Yusen, which we'll take that back road on the way out, it actually goes up to 20. But in between, I usually don't like to go more than that 10 or 15 miles per hour. So now you can see we are entering on 3C. The numbers are also on the K rails just before each row. So I know this is 3C. Right now I'm coming up on 30 and 31. The number that I am going to, or the space that I am going to, is 98, so I've got a little way to go. And if that space is available, we're going to pull right into it. Notice this truck in front of us with this crane, how the truck is way over to the right-hand side, kind of far away from that crane. There are line markings on the ground. You want to make sure that your truck and trailer, cabin trailer, their chassis are in between those little white lines, and that'll allow clearance for the crane. So I am 98, which is just in front of these guys. It looks like I can leave enough room for this guy to get out if I go into my space, so I'm going to go for it. Alright, this is just setting myself up for a nice little backup. I'm pausing for a moment because since I was taking a little while to back up, the driver that was at that crane that we were looking at is actually coming out of that spot, so I let him out easy enough. Looks like we're getting ready to have our port assistant help us out. He's probably going to ask for our spot number and our container number so he can mark our chassis. Now what I'm doing is positioning myself just right. I'm positioning my chassis just about lined up with the container as I can. Hello. Last four. 7419. So the assistant asked for the last four digits of my container. And I gave it to her to 7419, so she's going to look for it, make sure it's on that row. I mean, on this spot. And she's telling the crane operator where it is, so he can grab it real easily. I'm going to go ahead and shut down even though they're right here. So one of the things you kind of want to double check when is to make sure that your pins are in the accepting position. So I'm looking out my back window since I'm in a day cab. As I'm looking out the back window, I can confirm that my pins are in the right position since we're right there and ready to go with it. Sorry about that focus. So I'm ready to load. He's beside me grabbing the container and going to bring it over. So you're just going to sit here. When he's about to put it on, the assistant will, how you doing the training class? The assistant will basically help you line up for the container. So they'll do hand signals for you to back up or go forward as necessary. And that helps to expedite the whole process. Usually when they get out of the vehicle, they are ready for the acceptance. Sometimes they'll let you know, sometimes they'll just get out. So you start your engine. release your brakes, and keep an eye on them in the mirror. Back a little bit. So it looks like I was very close. I only had to go back about 2 inches. 7419. Thank you. Good. And that's pretty much it. We are loaded. They'll give you the okay of when you can leave, to which we are clear to go. Now we're going to head to the end of here. This road that we're on, following the map, we're going to take a right turn, go to the main road, make a right turn, go to the main road, double, another right turn, and we're heading out. Now you see how the terminals equipment is coming around. I paused for them because I'm going to make a really wide turn here. This is the main road right at the stop sign. There's a little sign on the bottom of the stop sign that says exit, to make sure you're heading in the right direction in case you don't have the map on you. Now, like I said, they do 20 miles per hour on this back stretch. This is what I call the back road. There are a few more lanes on the opposite side of this, on the ship side. I don't often have to go over there at all. Actually, I've never been over there. So for me, technically, this is the back road. According to the map, this is a 2-lane road, as you see, bi-directional. Make sure you stop at all stop signs. Some courts are extremely strict on stopping at their stop signs, the speed that you travel, the right of way that you give, and whether or not you have that seatbelt on. So make sure you keep your seatbelt on as well. This right here, as you can see on the sign, is almost where we began. You can see this is 2C and 3C in between that little road. Coming up at this next stop sign is what I call the main road, which splits you off to your different lanes or roads. So we're going to make our right turn here. I'm just going to make sure that these guys are good. The port guys a lot of times aren't using turn signals. They might have their hazard lights on, but they're not going to use turn signals to indicate which way they're going. They're just driving, so you sometimes have to kind of pause for them to see or figure out what they're doing so that you can give them the right of way. So heading out, you see our lanes or rows are counting down, so now we're down to 1 and 2 and so on. After we cross this road, we're at the exit gate. Before the exit gate, we're going to hit what they have as a roadability. As far as I know of, they look at everybody, but I don't know if they inspect everybody. Check for the cones on the lanes. This lane has no cones, so we're going to take this one in. turn on your hazard flashers, drop down to about 5 miles per hour as you go through. Watch your mirrors. The guys, he signaled me already to just keep on going. So since this is my own chassis, I guess they don't check it, or at least they're not doing it right now. Turn off your four-way flashers. Gonna head for the scanners. Again, always take your time going through these scanners. As all these bumps and scrapes on these scanners are from people kind of rushing and not going through at the right angle and scraping and or damaging their vehicle. It's easy enough for you to take time by a couple of seconds going through stuff like that, rather than you to waste time by a few minutes or more, because you have to inspect some damage or give information because you damaged their things. Alright, now coming up, we're going to have our exit pedestals. You can choose any lane that's available. Let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The one I was going to choose, this guy just jumped in. I'm going to take this one over here on the left. I feel like he's going to be okay. Now right here in between the K-rails is where we're going to lock our container down. So with that load, we're just going to lock it up. Confirm that the pins are set. We're also going to check on the back end that this goes at the bottom here. When you do it with one hand, it takes a little bit longer. This will be fast for you. Gonna make sure that your seal is in place. Again, locking the container. This one's giving me a little bit of a hassle. There we go. Now it's set. This one locked appropriately. Let's see what's going on with this other one. See the other one? It's like that, and it's here in the front, so I actually turned it around the wrong way. I'm still learning too. You're learning with me. There we go. Now it's set up in the right way and locked. And then our last pin. So with this one, the alignment is off a little bit. Doesn't really lock on, but it looks like that's why somebody put some tape there. So with that tape holding it in place, it's good to go. Let's get back in our truck. Alright, so continuing forward, we've already locked our pins. Going up to our pedestal. At this pedestal, you have a little area where you can load in your card and have it scan it. You heard a little beep, so it scanned it. It'll print out your exit ticket and then you're ready to go. Excellent, that's my exit ticket. So let's get out of here. This is our final stop sign. We're on the main road. That's it. That's how you do Yusen Terminal, also known as YTI, with a simple bare chassis in, load out. Don't forget to like if you liked it, comment if you have comments or questions, and or take a look at my playlist that has all of my Long Beach Port videos based information. Drive safe out there, guys.